Hi guys, today I told you yesterday you're going to be marking up and taking notes on this article, okay? Reminder that the reason why you're doing this is for something called philosophical chairs, and I say that like you don't know what that is, but you do because we did this during writing. If you remember, we did this, we talked about homework, whether or not we should have homework. This time, we're going to be talking about luck and whether luck plays a part in success. So keep that in mind when you're reading this article. One thing that you should already have done by now is you should have written down on this, on your C note, your topic and objective, goals and success, and then your essential question right here. How did Merriam-Wendell Alex accomplish her goals? Okay? I'm going to walk you through how you're going to mark this text, and then you are going to go ahead and get started on that. So 2 things you're going to look for when you're marking your text. 1, info or information that answers the essential question. Think in your head right now, what is the essential question? I just said it. You should have said this. How did Merriam-Wendell Alex accomplish her goals? This is what you are going to be focused on answering the entire time you're reading this. Okay, you're constantly looking for the answer to that question. Second thing you're going to look for are words or parts that you don't understand, okay? Because if you don't write them down, there's no way that you're going to figure out the answer. So that's the other thing too. So I'm going to show you a couple places where I did this. I'm going to use this to help me here, okay? So when I, notice how I numbered the paragraphs? You're going to want to do that too. But the first thing, I was reading this paragraph out here, the first one, and when I was reading it, it said, being young and especially being a girl from my community, I speak for youth here and in other places where conditions are similar. I didn't underline anything in this, and I didn't take any notes on it because it doesn't answer my essential question, and it doesn't really, I understand everything. There's nothing I don't understand. So I didn't write anything down for that first paragraph. Second paragraph, it says, growing up in Mombasa, Kenya, I put a little question mark next to that, and I underlined it because I don't know anything about Mombasa, Kenya. So once I underlined that and put a question mark, I actually went to my C notes and added to my C notes here. You can see right here, it says Mombasa, Kenya, okay, with a question mark to let myself know that I don't really know that much about that. Now I can go back later and add a little bit more. I'm going to keep reading and see if I can find more places where it either answers the essential question or I don't understand it. So growing up in Mombasa, Kenya was amazing because I learned so much. But lack of resources and poverty were sometimes frustrating. I knew I didn't have much, but I was happy. I never thought having a lot of things would make me happy. Nothing in there really answers the essential question about how she accomplished her goals, unless you can find something. And then I also really kind of understood the rest of it, so I didn't underline anything. Let's look at paragraph 3. One thing I wasn't happy with, education. I wanted more. I wanted to go to high school and university. I had the drive, I had the will, I had the grades, but I didn't have resources. Think to yourself, why do you think I underlined I had the drive, I had the will, and I had the grades? This is the correct answer because it answers the essential question. How did Merriam-Wendell Alex accomplish her goals? Probably because she had drive, she had will, and she had grades. So I went ahead and I wrote that down. Grades, drive, will, all probably helped. I noticed I wrote a little arrow to kind of remind myself that I'm answering that question. Then when I kept going, let's keep going here and see what else I underlined. Even basic resources of food, water, shelter, and electricity weren't readily available, though they are better now. When you are poor, you constantly worry about basic necessities. Doesn't answer my question about how she accomplished her goals. I'm moving on. Young people in poverty have little or no access to high school and tertiary education. I initially underlined tertiary because I had never seen that word before, and I wrote that down here. But then when I kept reading, it said university and trade schools, like it was answering my own question about what tertiary education was. So since I wrote it down, you can see where I kind of scribbled out my question mark. I just went ahead and wrote the definition down right away, so I didn't have to look for it later. College and university, that's what tertiary education is, okay? So you're going to continue through it, this whole article. This whole thing should be marked up just like I had those few paragraphs. You can see I haven't done it yet, but you should. Keep in mind there's also a back, okay? So again, you are looking for information that answers the essential question. which is that, and words or parts that you don't understand. You're going to write them down on here in your notes, and you're going to underline them in your article. Okay? Have fun. Once you're done, please hand it in. It is due today, and I expect good sub reports tomorrow.